The end of the line. It's funny.
No one cares about your excuses, Simpson.
What?
You hear me?
Can
you hear it?
Yes, I can. I need water. I'm not saying out loud. Sure.
Yeah. So, welcome everyone to your June 6th, 2018 episode of Spam and the finale of Spam. It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Wow. You mean it?
Come on, Andrew, sing it.
I'll wait for my first.
All right. Anyway, Andrew, welcome.
Oh my God!
Yes. So, if in case anyone has lived under a rock in the UCY TV universe, the hammer dropped last week. Well, actually, no. Anyway, me and Andrew, we've been planning on doing an anniversary show for Spam for almost a month, but for some reason, we can't get together with the people, and it's always excuses. Listen, it's tough. It's tough. Doing this every week for an hour. Then now you really have to become dedicated, and not just us. Everybody on UCY TV who hosts a show, does anything. It's tough. And to tell you the truth, these last couple months have been real tough for me. School, and I have to admit, I couldn't get myself up to do this show every week. Andrew's covered. Well, he's gone solo, and I've gone solo. It's tough. We've all grown up watching our favorite talk shows, and every week they're on TV. But it's tough now. When and I'm not comparing myself to those shows on TV, but you get a little taste, of the grind. This is just a little 1 hour stupid show that we put together, covering the news, trying to be funny and entertaining at the same time. But you get the idea of how some performers, they get burned out, how even within the co-workers, if there's a co-host, remember in the Tonight Show, Andrew, Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon.
I know Johnny Carson. Yes.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out a notable pair that was on TV every day for a long time. And I'm just saying. And you always hear in the tabloids how there's fighting, they don't get along, or a radio show, whatever. And you kind of get the idea. Listen, me and Andrew, I've never met Andrew. We've been talking almost for a year and a half every week.
It's so odd. Me and you have never even met in person.
No, I don't want to meet you. But no, I'm just joking. No, Andrew, no. It's just I would actually like to meet you. No, but you hear it. These people have to work together, and sometimes these people, they just do a show for an hour, but an hour a day. But it's more than that. It's they have to do production meetings, this, that.
Oh yeah, especially other shows that are on every day.
Yeah. For years.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy, you so that I'm gonna pause this because I have to just step outside for 2 minutes, and you go ahead. You tell the audience how you feel about Spam and your experience doing the show.
All right. Well, I'm glad I get my moment to shine about our show's run. First of all, I got to admit, in a million years, first of all, I would never think that the original host of the show was actually mutual friends with my cousin in Staten Island. First of all, to bring that up. Now he's in Maryland. If he is listening, along with his wife, thank you for tuning in. That's not the point. The point I want to make here is that Spam has been a journey. You know, I used to have weekly meetings in the city with our old host, John Thomas, JT, and, you know, I got to admit, if it wasn't for him, I'm going to admit this now, I think somehow, some way, he influenced the 2016 election. I will mention that.
You ever see that movie?
Okay, what's going on in the background?
Yeah, actually a TV show.
Yeah, I may have to hang up on Frank for a second. Hang on. I don't know what's going on with Frank over there. Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. I had to put Frank on mute, but listen, Spam has been a journey. It's been amazing. I'll never take anything for granted with this show. And as I was trying to say earlier, you know, with our old host, John Thomas, I had lunch with him every week in the city. And I tried saying this earlier. If it wasn't for him, I don't even think Trump would have won the 2016 election. So you got to thank JT somehow, some way for influencing the decision in Michigan. Because we did, at the time, we did have swing voters listening to us in Michigan who were commenting on the chat room. And they were saying, well, you know, if you guys are saying we should vote for Trump, we should vote for Trump. Well, yeah, we sort of did play a role in that. Also, John did play a role in introducing me to Chick-fil-A. And now every time I'm in Hicksville, they opened up out there. I got to thank John for that. So if he's listening, John, thank you for hooking me to Chick-fil-A. But overall, even after when Frank, my co-host, came on the show, you know, and it became me, then it became him. Just want to make sure. But anyhow, the point I'm trying to make here is that me and Frank have had a lot of interesting experiences in the past year with this show. And I still wanted to continue this show. But if you haven't heard, our network, UCWine.tv, is officially closing up shop this Friday.
Andrew, I'm sorry, I'm back.
There you are. Yeah, I was just saying about our network shutting down on Friday.
Yes. So you explained. So last week, not to sound repetitive. So last week, Jules, who is responsible for all this on UCY, she messaged me, and it was rather shocking. She has to shut this UCY down, according to her, because she needs to get better. I've never discussed anything. I never said anything over the air about her. I don't even know what it is, but she hasn't been feeling well probably since I joined here. And but now she is better. But now she has to just listen, Andrew. UCY is probably as a burden to us.
I know, that was my first reaction when I found the news.
No, listen, she is getting better, but listen, as much of a burden it is for us, and not a burden, but what did we just talk about? It's tough.
Especially how it's put a strain on my family. I had to tell them I had to do the show every week.
What are you going to get, a divorce? Because of your showbiz life? No, listen, UCY is tough. I don't know how Jules generates revenue to even run it, to make it self-sufficient, let alone a profit. I mean, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I never did this for the money. I just did this to, be on here every week to talk about the news.
No, nobody's doing it for the money, Andrew. But Jules, who runs the network, she has to pay. I'm sure she has a server. She has a server in the house that she has to pay a monthly bill, a monthly fee on, whatever. But I'm sure she gets some money from advertising. But I don't know, and probably some YouTube, the YouTube channel. But I don't know how much money she's making. Does she break even? I don't know. But she, I applaud her.
Yes, give it up for Jules, everyone.
Yes, she gave a platform to many people like us, Andrew, who are...
and not just me and you, Frank and John.
Nick and John.
Oh, right, Nick and John, right? JT.
Yeah, no, but
JT!
I mean, everybody who's ever done this or whoever wants to be a internet radio broadcaster or whatever. How many times do we have to say this? Even though nobody's making money off of this, it's all about passion. This is a volunteer, but it's a passion because we like to broadcast, we like to express ourselves, we like to give our opinions to everyone.
And we like to talk about the news.
Yeah, whatever. So with that said, it'll be said. Now, we've discussed the future of spam. Me and Andrew. I've asked Andrew.
Yes, I still want to continue this series, but
right. All right. Listen, but I don't know if it's going to be called spam anymore. I don't know. If maybe we just have to put spam to rest because I don't know. It's got like spam has a stigma. I don't know what it is. It's just. I like the
spamming your radios coast to coast and all around the world.
It's just
God.
No. That's good. That's catchy.
I had to mention that.
Right. But the sports, politics, more. I don't know. It's just too much in the title, like already. So if I don't like sports, like people on the audience for UCY TV, as they hear sports and that's it. It's like putting holy water on a vampire. They're not going to come a mile close to it. Or if somebody hears politics, they're like, oh, forget it, I'm not into politics. This is how the human brain works currently in 2018.
Yeah, that's how it works because nobody wants to talk about our president, of course.
Whatever. Listen, whatever it is. Like I said, people on this in the UCY chat room for months. When we were on here, they still kept thinking we were talking. This was a sports show. When me and you have done the show, I think we haven't. We touch upon sports for 30 seconds, maybe an episode. So you understand what I'm saying? So I think maybe we'll have to change the title of our new show, or the continuation. We'll rebrand and reboot, and now Andrew.
And we have to figure out a network.
Well, I thought we talked about this morning, Andrew.
Yeah, are we launching a network or something?
No, this morning I'll tell the audience. This morning, just very quickly, I did a rough draft. I created a Facebook page, and now I don't like YouTube. I'm trying to stay away from YouTube as much as possible. YouTube is trash. Unless you pay to promote your video. You're not going to get that. You'll be lucky to get 25 views, unless it's 1 in 100 where it's a trending topic, and for some reason the algorithm is showing your video. That's why, Andrew, you don't get that many views on your channel. Andrew, I said it again. Andrew's channel, Andy Randomness, right? Andy's Randomness.
Yes, Andy's Randomness.
He's got. You have 700 plus subscribers, right?
I'm getting to 700. I'm working my way up.
So Andrew is nearing in on the first magical step of 1,000 subscribers, which is a big deal. Now you need 1,000 subscribers to even be eligible to monetize your channel. I don't know if you know that.
And I'm hoping Pine Power LI, if he's listening, he should. I hope he considers doing it.
Okay. Now, but see, I'm telling the audience now, 700 subscribers. You would say, "Oh, that's nothing." Yeah, maybe it is, but. If you go and check Andrew's videos, his episodes, and it has no bearing on the content, or the quality of the content, or whatever. Andrew, you average like 25, 30 views, right? Most of the time.
Most cases, unfortunately.
But that's not your fault. That has nothing to do.
That's honestly not my fault. I think it's Google.
No. What did I just say? It's YouTube. Unless you are.
Yeah, Google.
Unless you're running ads. You're running ads for your channel or at each video. I don't know, Andrew, if you have your computer in front of you. If you go to YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Go to your video manager.
Yeah. What about my video manager?
There's always like the little arrow next to the video, next to each video. If you pull that down, at the very bottom there's an option that says promote.
Okay.
Yeah, you could promote each video and set a daily budget for that video, and YouTube says it will ensure maybe between 0 to 1,500 views. Okay, so that's how you play the game on YouTube. in the beginning, you got to really promote your videos that you think are very interesting, and then you get
Well,
some
the
views.
one video I want to promote is the Hicksville Summit with Pine Power LI and Matt Camper.
Andrew, now who are you gonna promote that to?
People who are interested in the Long Island Railroad.
Well, that would be New York City, right?
Pretty much.
So you would have, when you promote it, you could customize it to only target. You could just target the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey. I don't know. Does people from New Jersey take the Long Island Railroad? No.
Well, this weekend there might be an increased ridership because of Hot 97 Summer Jam.
Okay, but that's just once, and so you would target when you promote. You target to your audience, New York, so that way you don't waste anything. So that's how you got to do it. You have to know. You really have to brush up on marketing, and marketing, because you have to really promote your content to the right people. See, now if I do if I do an episode about, I don't know, baseball, the New York Mets, I'm not going to promote it to people in Australia.
That would be stupid.
Right? It'd be because nobody cares. People in Australia are going to see it and they're not even going to know what the Mets are. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get. If you're lucky, you'll get 2 views from Australia, just from a former New Yorker or a former United States citizen. But anyway, so yeah, YouTube, I want to stay away from. The other alternatives to YouTube, they're still in their infancy. Okay, nobody really knows about them. I use an alternative to YouTube called BitChute, BIT, shoot. But,
never heard of it.
Exactly. I uploaded an episode and I was trending in the sports category for a week, because with 50 views. So, right, you never heard of it. YouTube right now has a monopoly on this, and it's tough. So I think, Andrew and the audience, the other best alternative way and cheapest, most efficient way for someone like me and you to continue broadcasting is Facebook.
Facebook?
Yes, I didn't you accept?
You told me about it. Well, I accepted the invite.
Yeah, didn't you read my message this morning? Oh my God!
Why do you think?
Why do you think what did I write on it? I wrote news, entertainment, and sports commentary on it.
You did that, yes.
Yes, and I said it's a rough draft. Maybe I messaged someone else with it. But listen, on Facebook, you could broadcast live. I mean, that's besides YouTube. Now, I don't know where you could find many places to broadcast live to a vast audience. You don't need to promote. Oh yeah, you do promote. You can promote your stuff on Facebook, but for the meantime,
you have to pay. You have to pay for it.
Yes, but in the meantime, as an emergency landing for me and you and this show, we could use Facebook next week, and we could broadcast live and then share it.
Well, I'm hoping we move to 9 o'clock.
We could do whatever we want because now we're running the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So whatever you want to do, but we have to be somewhat professional. To pick a time and a day and stick to it. I don't know. Is Wednesday? You think Wednesday is an ideal time?
Yes.
Yeah, because Mondays is too hectic. Tuesdays is a very bad night for social media and TV. I think a lot of people are worn out for the weekend. I think.
Yeah, that could be it.
Tuesday nights, people.
Don't most normal people on Tuesdays go to the movies?
Now, who goes to the movies on Tuesdays, Andrew? Why would people? No, people go to the movies on Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights, maybe Sunday afternoon. Who goes to Tuesdays? I'm guessing about Tuesday night because I'm always on social media and I always see Tuesday nights is very slow. There's hardly anything going on unless there's a big sporting event or a movie on TV. It's very quiet. So I
noticed that lately. I have noticed it.
Jules just messaged me. She says, I hope you don't mind. Jules said, thanks for being on tonight. If you guys need a network to broadcast on, one of our former hosts who runs his own network says he may be able to. All right, we'll take all options, Jules. Thank you. But Jules, my thing was just as a safe landing for me and for anyone. You could create a Facebook page and broadcast live. I've been broadcasting live on one of the other pages me and Andrew belong to. It's not that bad. And again, if you build up a little audience, then you could even share the video to your friends.
Oh, you mean OWN?
Yes, Andrew.
Yeah, because we do have a passionate fan base on there.
Whatever, Andrew. I'm just saying, anyone. We could broadcast live on the new page I created, and then you could share it onto your own page on Facebook, and all your friends could see, could get a chance to watch the video.
Well, all right. Well, I'm hoping that's the case.
Right. But anyway, moving on. As far as Jules, I always wanted to. I told Jules I wanted to interview. Last year, I mentioned to Jules I wanted to interview her. Again, she's very busy with a family life and daughter, and she says. But we wish you all the best, Jules. Maybe Jules, you could give me and Andrew a reference if we ever.
Hopefully.
We ever maybe Andrew, if he ever decides to get into radio. Yeah, Andrew, why don't you? Well, you should go to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm happy with what I'm doing right now.
Oh, what are you doing right now? Okay, tell the audience your great life that you're so content at. How old are you? 22.
22.
Yeah, tell the audience, and try not to bore us. Tell the audience what you're so happy doing right now. Tell them.
Well, I work at a nursing home. I do resident transport.
That's very good. That's great. Come on.
At least I get tips.
He gets tips. You're happy making tips. You're happy relying on tips. And you have no responsibilities. You're like me when I was your age.
And I also do mail for Long Island Jewish.
Who cares? You're working. What is it? Nonprofits?
Yeah.
Andrew, how many days a week do you do it?
I at least do 3.
3 weeks. You're a part-time volunteer worker. You're happy doing. You're so happy with your life that you dismiss going to a school to gain a license to get into a job market. No,
well,
you're just lazy. You're just lazy like everybody else, and you're gonna make a million excuses why you can't or why you don't want to, and then. Guess what, Andrew? You know what's coming? Stop bagging. I'll hang up on the last show. I swear to God.
That's my water bottle.
I don't want to hear your water bottle. You are just like a lot of the average person, and me too. Listen, but I admit it. You'll make a million excuses of why you can't do it, or why you won't do it, or why it's a bad time. And then you know what, Andrew? Guess what happens?
What happens?
Well, you know what? What are you, 22?
22.
You'll be 29, waiting on your 30th birthday, and then before that, you'll be, oh my God, I'm 33. Holy shit! I was just 30 last week, and now I'm 33, and now you wait for your 35th birthday.
What are you trying to elaborate on?
Because you gotta go for it. There is no tomorrow. There is no next year. You gotta do it now. You gotta do things now. Whatever. I'm not saying you have to. Thank you, Jules. Jules just sent me the contact. But Andrew, you got to do things now. You can, listen, and I'm only telling you because from experience. You think I'm talking down to you that I'm much better than you, Andrew? I went to college when I was 35. I had to. I returned to college when I was 35. Do you know how a little awkward it was my junior year in college?
How awkward was it?
Not really, because I could get away with it because I have a young. I look young. If I dress the part, with a baseball cap and jeans, I blend it because my face. I still have a young looking face, and when I work out regularly, then I could even. I look younger. I'm not bragging about this, but. It happened to me three or four three semesters that at the end of the semester or in the middle of it, one of my female classmates, they asked me like quietly, like, how old are you? And I got embarrassed at first because they're asking me like, how old are you, meaning how old are you? But then I would lie. Of course, I always lied. I always shave 6 years off my age. And when I told them, they're like, "Oh wow, I thought you were 28. Oh, I thought you were 29." And I'm like, "Oh, I thought at first you think they're making fun of you, but after the second time it happens, or the third time it happens, I'm like, whoa, maybe I do look the part, because of I can act young. Some people can't act young. See, Andrew, you're 22 and you don't act young.
Well, how old do you think I act?
I know you're 22, but you act like you're 35 or 38. You're trying, because you know what? I know what it is with Andrew. Andrew is being a mama's boy. He's trying to be a goody two shoes. You don't want to make your mom mad, so you try and act mature, right?
Pretty much.
But you can act mature, but you can still be young. But anyway, Andrew, you're okay. You're okay. I'm just saying, you're just a millennial, and millennials are tough to gauge these days. But listen, I'm over 40, Andrew, and I'm still up to date on pop culture, most of it.
Oh, I don't want to be up to pop culture lately.
Whatever. I'm just saying pop culture, meaning just to be in the know. Listen. Now, when I was ending high school, I made a promise to myself, saying I'm never gonna get out of touch or be old. I'm always gonna. I remember this, I remember it right now. I said I'm always gonna keep up with pop culture. I'm gonna be hip. I'm always gonna be young at heart. But it gets tough when you get older.
Don't be with the cool crowd.
Yeah, but it gets tough. It gets tough to follow. There's some music. I stopped completely listening to music. I completely stopped listening to TV. I have no interest in it.
Oh, you want to know what's crazy about today's music? I'll tell you about today's music. So, yesterday when me and John were on the Broadway Mall in Hicksville, they used to play oldies, right?
John who? Now, if you're talking to the audience, who the fuck knows who John is? Nobody even knows who you are. So who's John? Why don't you just say me and my friend?
He's Prime Power LI.
What are you giving him? What are you giving John a shout out? A secret shout out? Just say my friend.
I was talking about him earlier. Remember?
Andrew, nobody knows. I don't know who the audience knows. Pretend there's 1,000 people right now listening to you.
Yeah.
Who knows who John is? I don't know who John is. Just say me and my friend.
All right. So me and my friend were in the Broadway Mall yesterday, and we used to like the oldies, right?
Why do you have to say, and why do you have to mention the mall that you were at?
Because they were playing this new techno crap.
Who cares and who knows what Broadway Mall is? Just say me and my friend were at the mall.
All right.
Do you know, Andrew, if this is real professional radio, you know how much that's free advertising you're giving that mall.
Oh.
But that's not the reason. The audience. Pretend that you're speaking to 1,000 people right now, right? There's 1,000 people outside your house. Do they know who John is now? Okay, go ahead. Continue your story.
So they were playing techno crap.
Techno music?
Yes.
Techno music was really big in the 90s. I mean, no, even it was big. It was always been big in the 80s and 90s and 2000. It's electronica. But honestly, that's drug music. I think. I know in the 90s that was like the music to be when people took ecstasy. They went to the clubs and it was techno all night long.
Dude, don't be scared to be lonely. I swear to God, it was so bad.
Yeah, because you have. They say you have to be high on ecstasy to feel that music.
Well, I don't feel it. It sounds like techno crap. There's no instruments. There's no vocals. It's just
Yeah, or maybe there'll be just one they'll record one vocal and repeat it over and over throughout the whole song.
Oh boy.
So what happened at the mall?
We didn't like the music.
Oh well, whatever.
You really didn't like the music. It was annoying.
What's so annoying about it? I mean,
There's no real feeling to the music.
I know. It's empty music.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
It is, and that's what I'm saying. And like that.
No. It's way different.
So maybe you weren't listening to techno. Maybe you listened to electronica music. That's
what it was. Yes.
Electronic. Yeah. It's very fast. I think that came from Europe. But anyway, the music today. Actually, yeah. Do you see why audience is listening? I saw a video about. They asked, "Do you think? Doesn't it seem that every song today on the radio sounds similar?"
Yeah, it does now.
Right. So they did a whole study. This was an intense study. I think they put this study. I forgot who did it. They inputted into the system over 500,000 songs from starting from 1960 to now, 1960 to 2010. And the computer measured the algorithms of each song.
Right.
And there's a certain beat, there's a certain sequence in songs, and I think today there's less of a sequence. The sequence is changing. They change the sequence more and more since 1960 or 1980. I'm sorry, since 1980.
This is what we were listening to in the mall yesterday.
It was great at the very start.
Listen, that's not the lyric I'm listening for. Here we go. This is the part. This was awful when we were listening in the mall yesterday.
All right, please.
But this is it. This is the part.
I get it. We get it. That sounds like. No,
it's so fucking annoying.
Listen, actually, you know what's annoying about it? See, Andrew, very good. That's my example to the audience. That song you just played, that sounds like every song I've heard in the last 10 to 12 years.
It sounds like the most recent songs from the early 2010s.
Yeah, that sounds like Rihanna. That sounds like every Rihanna song. Oh, Jules, sorry about that. Actually, Jules, when you play a song from a different device onto another device, YouTube has a tough time picking it up, especially if you're talking. Believe me, I try. That's what I do now.
Right, it does.
Yeah, and plus we're not playing the whole song, so I think. But I don't know. Regardless, but anyway.
Trust me, Jules, you didn't want to be in this mall yesterday. It was awful.
Moving on. So yeah. So anyway, the study said that the computer in the system studied the algorithm of 500,000 songs from 1960 to 2010, and there is a correlation. The sequence and the pattern of the beats today, since 1980, has changed. It's getting shorter and shorter. There's no. I forgot what the guy said, but it's changing. Everything sounds the same. Now listen, music is mass produced these days. The record companies today lost a lot of money because of the internet and because of file sharing. So it started since the beginning of the internet in 1985. File sharing, people used to share files. You know about that?
You mean like Napster?
Yeah, even before that, there was just sites. You could go to sites where you could download music. You just enter whatever you want, whatever you were interested in. You enter it, and then you see, and all the files would appear, and you would have to see if there was peers and seeds. That's what it's called, peers and seeds. And that the more the peers and the more seeds attached to that file, the easier it would have been to download that file. I know this sounds strange to you, Andrew, but that's how it used to be. It was called file sharing.
Yeah, I know about file sharing.
Yeah, right. And then Napster was the first company that really
really took off. I've seen specials on it.
Right, and in 1999 or 1980, I remember Metallica took them to court. They were the first prominent music act to challenge Napster. In fact, Metallica got a lot of lost a lot of fans because of they challenged Napster in court. They came off
that way.
No, because
they weren't stealing.
Yes, it is stealing. In a way, it is stealing. But to the fans, to the public, it came off as Metallica, these rich, famous musicians. Oh my God! They gotta charge us an arm and a leg for every song. Why can't we have Napster and enjoy the music? Listen, is it stealing? When I was a kid, I used to record music on a cassette tape off the radio, and I would make copies for my friends and hand it to them. Is that stealing? Technically, yes. Yeah, technically, yes. You're not supposed to record those songs off the radio because they're copyrighted.
Well, yeah, right.
Well, then the loophole was you could share them, but you can't sell them. You can't make money. So if a song comes on the radio, I can't record it and then make 2,000 copies of it and sell it on the street.
That's illegal.
Well, for personal sharing between friends and family or wherever, I guess it's not illegal because they really can't do anything about it. So, but then when Napster came out, they realized that didn't fly anymore because now it was going to hurt. It was going to destroy the profits of the music industry. And even today, still look at that idiot Jay-Z with Tidal. What is it?
My heart beats fast.
Yeah. Every month I read in front of me that Tidal is doing bad. They're almost bankrupt.
Yeah, because I keep hearing Spotify is actually increasing its listenership.
Yes. So, but now, Andrew, and then that was a radio. Then I remember I used to go to Manhattan, downtown Manhattan, J&R Music World. Every Friday, I would when I got paid, I would go and buy 2 albums on compact disc.
Really?
Yeah, for $13, $14 each, $15 each.
Isn't J&R still open?
I don't know. Tell you honestly, I haven't been there in a long time.
Because thankfully B&H still open.
Look at all the electronic stores here in New York City that shut down. The Wiz shut down. Radio Shack is shut down.
Oh, they shut down April 9th, 2014.
Yeah, because everything is changing. You don't need to go to Radio Shack anymore. You don't need to go to the Wiz to buy music or to buy electronics. You can play games. Andrew? You could go online, Windows, and play games, right? Xbox.
Well, I mean, don't people still need consoles?
Yeah, but then the other thing is retail. Now everybody orders stuff online, and within 2 days it'll be in your house. You don't have to go to the store and go get it and wait online. So things have changed. But anyway, so we got now we're at 8:40 as time is ending, and I don't know. If we should read some news. I don't know. Since we built the show around news, I don't know. I'm looking at the news, and this is another thing that coincidentally, when I mentioned the last 2 months, it was really tough to get motivated from the show, and I think it had to do, and I mentioned it on the show, how I just became just disillusioned and just worn out, burnt out by the news of all the BS. Every day, every week, just stupidity. Who believes these lies?
Idiocracy.
Still, as I'm looking in front of me, I still see Mueller and Manafort. See, I get angry because this is just garbage. Why is it? It's June 2018, and we're still talking about this.
I really don't know. Why are we still talking about something that happened in 2016? Why?
Because these people are getting paid good money to conduct.
Oh, you mean corrupt news network?
Anybody? No. Mueller and his special counsel, they're getting a lot of money. They're getting a lot of money. Andrew, what do you think? They use their credit card to conduct this investigation? No, they're getting funded.
Exactly. That's our media now.
Yeah. Like the other day, they asked, what did they ask Stormy Daniels if Trump wore a condom? I mean,
what?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
I don't know. But listen, it's garbage. This is it's garbage. I mean, like I'd rather put my hands right now through my garbage pail than watch CNN. At least maybe there's a better chance I might find something worse.
I have not watched CNN in a very long time.
But now, who was that guy, Andrew, that is running for office that he slept with his best friend's wife?
I forget who.
And the guy, his opponent brought it up, and he's like, well, you're a Trump supporter. What? That's the worst thing you could be today, is be a Trump supporter?
Okay, that's just idiotic.
Yeah, but you know what? So many people actually follow that. So this is the worst thing you could call somebody is a Trump supporter today. The President of the United States.
That's true.
So that's why I just and it's all bull. Listen, Andrew. There's two realities, right? There's the public reality, and then there's the real reality. Okay.
The real reality.
Yeah, the real reality. These people don't care. That politician doesn't care about Trump, but he's lying. It's like, again, how many times I say, it's like wrestling. In front of the cameras. Next Sunday, I'm gonna put you in the figure four, and I'm gonna break your legs. And then after the show's over, they go and eat dinner.
Okay, that's just stupid.
No, I know, but that's the same thing with politics. Trump supporter. That's the worst it can be. No, that's all political. That's all political rhetoric to make the unwilling and the unknowing believe it. So that way, in 2020, they'll vote for anybody but Trump, and they could regain the power. That's all. That's all it is.
Just propaganda, right?
Listen, Trump
has to be propaganda.
No, Trump. I don't see how Trump can't win in 2020. I honestly how Trump can't get reelected. I've said it before. If I didn't know any better, I would think all of this is going. It's like reverse psychology to get Trump reelected. But it's not. It's not because these people are insane. Like Maxine Waters.
Why are they babying? Why are they acting like babies?
Andrew, did you see Auntie Maxine?
Yes, I have.
She went on Twitter campaigning, said, "Oh, come out to this place, and we're going to take over." And she's the most infamous Trump hater. She's a congresswoman who impeach. You know why? Just because I don't like you. What?
What is that supposed to be?
Yeah, and Andrew, did you see? I think it was Mark Dice showed it. Like 10 people, 11 people, including the cameraman, showed up to her rally. And
I saw that.
Yeah, and she was still holding the microphone, talking to these 11 people. And
we're going to get going today.
Yeah. And remember, there was two teenage girls that they had their head down. They were like, "Oh my God, what are we doing here?" Listen, you should be mad at yourself because you actually bought into Mad Maxine. She's an idiot. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. She's not an idiot. She's a malicious, dangerous politician.
She is dangerous. Bottom line, you know.
Listen, what did I just say? They don't. All this Trump bashing is just so people will vote for anybody but Trump, and they could get the power back.
Listen.
This president.
That's Maxine Waters, everyone.
All right, and Mad Maxine, Auntie Maxine. You see how she says Auntie Maxine? It caught on, because some idiot on Facebook, liked her because they like her because she's old and she's got a lot of fire in her. Bullshit. She don't have fire. She just wants to keep her gravy train going. Okay. She probably has $5 million. She's worth. Andrew, what was she worth to get $5 million?
$5 million at most. The most she's worth is $5 million.
And the ghetto and the district she represents is a ghetto.
Right.
It's
right. fascists.
Right, and people just keep. People don't even realize that Trump. Meanwhile, you live in squalor.
Hang on, Frank. I'm gonna play a clip. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'll show you who's old and feisty.
Trump didn't make your neighborhood poor.
Just listen to this. Just listen to this.
Vicky Palladino was driving by, ordered her husband to stop the car. She pounced as the mayor was
Just
leaving.
listen, Frank. You'll know old and passionate in a second.
He simply fled, taking refuge in his SUV.
This is in the city, by the way, if anybody's curious.
I don't care about the trees. Pay your police officers. I stopped spending it on money to go protest against our country.
Today.
See what I mean? That's old and feisty.
Oh, who was that? Is that the woman? Is that the woman who confronted Bill de Blasio last year?
I'm actually going to be helping her run for state senate.
Oh, she's running for state senate?
In my district.
Good. But you know what? It's tough because look at last year. We're talking about the New York City mayor, Bill de Blasio, who's a boob. Just like
you mean my asshole mayor?
Yeah, just like every progressive politician in America, they're all boobs. Just check out every progressive liberal politician. Look at what's happening to their cities and states. They're running. They run them into the ground, except for New York so far, because I think men like Giuliani and even Bloomberg, they built the city up so strong that it's hard to ruin it now. New York City became so self-sufficient at running itself and being prosperous that it's hard to ruin it. But believe me.
Well, lately I'm noticing that Manhattan's starting to go downhill.
Yeah. But listen, I said it's tough, not impossible. Give it another decade, and maybe we'll start seeing some areas of New York City become real shitholes again.
Well, it's different, okay? The city has gone through a lot in the past 25 years.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know, Andrew. I wasn't here. Well, of course, I believe I've seen it since I was a kid. Listen, Andrew, you have no idea. When I was a baby, when I was a kid, New York City was a shithole.
That's what my dad told me.
A shithole. Everything was old. Everything was broken down.
You know, my dad kept a crowbar everywhere he went, he told me.
Yeah. And then the 80s.
He still has the same crowbar from the 70s.
I bet he does. And then when New York City, when the 80s hit, the crack epidemic hit, if the cops wouldn't go to some neighborhoods, you know what they used to say? Let the animals kill themselves.
Right, my dad was telling me that.
And if you were a cop and you had to go to certain neighborhoods, don't bring a gun, bring two guns, because
South Bronx was the worst.
Anyway, that was the 70s and 80s next to Yankees. Did I ever show you? And I think I told you, and you probably never watched it. There's a series that ESPN made in 2007 called "The Bronx is Burning."
I never heard of it.
It was about the 1977 Yankees, but also you'll love it. I'll give you I'll find it somewhere. But it also covered New York City in 1977. It covered Son of Sam, the blackout. So
that's another reason why my dad had the crowbar.
Yeah, and your dad will love this too. They covered the 1977 Yankees, but you saw New York.
You know what's so ironic, Frank? My dad was 21 when Son of Sam was roaming the streets.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm not joking.
I know. That was crazy. Jimmy Carter, speaking of the Bronx, in 1977, in that series, they showed Jimmy Carter visited the South Bronx. It looked like Syria. It was bombed out and depleted.
Yeah.
And there was just rubble.
You want to know what my dad did? You want to know what my dad did in the blackout 77? He was coming home. He went home. You know what he did when he came back from Westchester after a night out in Westchester? Locked himself in his apartment. And he has crowbar ready.
Yeah,
he even had brass knuckles back then, he told me, but he lost.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure your dad was a tough guy.
He was.
Andrew, do you know
everybody in my neighborhood called him mean.
Andrew, do you know what they did in my neighborhood when the blackout happened?
What did they do?
The mafia set up, put people on every entrance near the highway to look for Son of Sam because they were scared that Son of Sam might strike during the blackout.
Say that again.
In my neighborhood, it's an Italian American neighborhood. It was a heavy mafia presence in my neighborhood, and during the blackout.
What town was this?
What?
What town were you saying?
Town?
Yeah.
My neighborhood.
What neighborhood?
Carroll Gardens.
Carroll Gardens. Okay.
Just
right.
South Brooklyn, Carroll Gardens, and it was a heavy. The mob had a big influence and presence in the neighborhood, and in 1977, I remember the older people told me that they put guys near every exit and entrance in the highways to just be on guard for Son of Sam because they thought that Son of Sam would strike during the blackout.
Yeah, my mom thought the same thing too.
Yeah, so it was real tough, and then just the 80s. You've seen it, Andrew, the subways in the 80s and 90s. It was a nightmare.
Actually, come to think of it, my mom was 17 when it happened.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she was.
Right. Well, it doesn't matter. But the subways that you so the New York City transit that you so much like to cover now, it was a nightmare. Walking down into the subway stairs, you had to say your prayers. You just didn't know what you were going to expect. Some stations had broken lights. They used to smell. God knows you'd find homeless people, feces and piss, and God knows. And then if you survived that,
that's what I hear in San Francisco lately.
Yeah.
With their mass transit.
Right, and then if you survived that, you were lucky you didn't get mugged. You had a 1 in 3 chance of being mugged on the subway.
Yep, that's what happens on BART now.
Right, and then of course, just to give a history lesson, and remember 1985, Bernard Goetz when he shot those 4 Utes.
I'm telling you, I don't want to go to San Francisco. I don't want to get shot.
But anyway, yeah. All right. So anyway, getting back to the point. We have a few minutes here. Yeah, just because you're like New York City, which had a golden era, pretty much from I would say 1997 to 2007. I'd say that's the golden right now. That's the modern golden age of New York City.
What's the modern golden age?
I would say from 1997 to 2007. Maybe 2010. How about that?
Oh, okay, yeah, I agree with you on that.
I mean, listen, if you everywhere you walk around New York City, any block you go to, they're building a new building. Any available space that was formerly a parking lot. They're building in brand new buildings, luxury condos. But if we keep heading down this path, it'll turn your city into a crap hole again. So Andrew,
I hope not.
Andrew, all right. So Andrew,
keep talking, Frank.
why are you playing the Star Spangled Banner?
Because I want to get it out now.
All right, well keep it in the background.
I will.
All right. Anyway, Andrew. So that's that. So, and I want to say something.
Go on ahead. Go on, say it.
Well, lower it.
All right, I lowered it.
All right. Listen, Andrew. Thank you for doing this with me, even though we technical difficulties, and I yell at you.
Technical difficulties.
But it's half the time it's for entertainment purposes, and half the time it's not.
Well, let's hope we can continue spam, right?
Or a form of it. I want, of course, Jules. We met some friends along the way. Michael from Primer Time.
Right.
You know, I did his show. He came on our show. So it was a very good experience for me here, us here for a year. Again, how many times can I thank Jules for giving us the opportunity and putting up with us and being patient? We tried our best never to bother Jules because I know she's busy, but that's it. So in a couple of minutes when the music hits, it's over. But next week at 9 p.m. we'll continue this show.
And Frank, please tell the listeners where our new network will be.
I don't know. If you want, it's called Real Scoop. Real Scoop on Facebook. I just created the page now.
Yes, and for more updates, follow us on Twitter at Andy's Randomness at EAZZ34.
Right. We'll put it there. So anybody, I'm sure, if the 4 people who are listening, if you want to if you like me and Andrew, our shtick here, you could we'll put it out. But anyway, Andrew, thank you, and I hope your technical difficulties improve.
Hoping so too.
And and that's it. And like I said, Andrew, this is a life lesson. Andrew, last week you were saying when I told you about it that we were going off the air, you were so surprised. Nothing is guaranteed in life, Andrew.
You are correct, Frank. That's reality.
So, Andrew, I guess if you want to say goodbye, say goodbye.
All right, everyone. Farewell. Hasta la vista. Hasta mañana. I don't know hasta mañana. No, hasta la vista. Right.
Yeah, you're
Don't stop believing.
Yep, Andrew, you got it. So, good night, everybody, and farewell, UCY. We'll talk to you soon.